Today, we are going to be testing your patience. We are speaking on long suffering. Stay tuned. All right. Welcome back to another episode of Claire here. Welcome back to Spiritual Sundays. We are doing long suffering. We're going to speak on what long suffering isn't, at least, so you can know what it is. But thank you guys so much for your support. Every time I put a video out, I just feel like, dang, that's 22 people who can hear what he's trying to speak through me. Like, it's insane. I also encourage you guys to please come into the comments. Like, it's popping. Don't be afraid. I'm very friendly. That's really weird to say. I have a whole channel. I have to be friendly, right? Who's gonna answer the comments? But definitely don't be afraid to come into the comments. I would love to pick your brain and see what other type of videos you want me to speak on. But today we're gonna be speaking on long suffering. So we're gonna open up with the Bible verse, Galatians 5, verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, and long suffering. I struggle with this a lot. So long suffering, let me give you an example of long suffering. Long suffering is somebody sits there and says something that is incorrect of you and you don't say anything. Or someone you always help and they talk back to you like you never did a thing for them. That is long suffering. So I'll talk about the importance later on, but long suffering is that's my hardest. I'd rather give you 10 push-ups. You want me to do it right now? I'd rather give you 10 push-ups than long suffering. Like, long suffering is basically you love people so much that you'll deal with their BS. You want to know who? That sounds very familiar. After they sat there and tortured him, he still was like, bless them. Does that sound familiar? Jesus Christ. But I think one of the craziest things to me with long suffering is knowing that we have to strive every day to be like him. And there's some days where I'm just like, I'm not Jesus. I'm not going to hold you. Like, it was really hard. I think one of the biggest ones was seeing somebody, like, I think my biggest issue is just that when people go out of their way. Like, you ever have somebody, they go out of their way to be mean to you? You're minding your business. You don't even know what they got going on. And they go out of their way to be mean to you. Those burn. But the way I see it, the way I fight it, the way I fight, like, the reactions, because that's why I said, like, what long suffering isn't for sure is that it's not you cursing them in your head, wishing ill of them, trying to get your own revenge, trying to be petty back. Like, long suffering, to me, I feel like the reason why long suffering gets misconstrued with being patient is because people do not read. Like, if there was a secret to life and it was in a book, y'all wouldn't know it. You don't be reading, okay? But yeah, it really hurts a lot, you know, when you have to go through long suffering to get to the next level. Like, I understand it's there to build, but this is my hardest one. I can give up the music, I can give up the cursing, but long suffering is the hardest one because I'm a very confrontational person. That's how I was brought up. Haitians don't play. You got problem? Like, like, they don't play. I'm a very conversational person. So long suffering to me is, in my opinion, is just letting things take their course and still praying for these people, still wishing well of them. That's the hardest part. Because me, I'm like, dishonor on you, dishonor on your cow, dishonor your, like, I'm quick to be like, you know what, I'm done with this person. God, do the thing, you know. And, you know, of course, he gives me twice as much as I wish curse on that person. But definitely long suffering is not keeping a grudge, because people are like, I don't got no beef with you, but then you have to act like this person never did this. Now, you still need to have boundaries. Even Jesus had boundaries. He was literally flipping tables, okay? He was literally flipping tables, but definitely for sure, like, that's just something I can say I continue to strive for. But I've definitely, anytime I think of long suffering, I just think of Jesus Christ, and I'm like, dang. Like, they had a whole diss track about him and he was just hanging out. He's like, yeah, please make sure you bless that one, the one that hates me the most. Make sure you bless him the most. I was like, I'm trying to get like you. I can't. Not yet, but I definitely have made strides. But definitely long suffering is a fruit of the Spirit. And there's no way you can have him and not have a fruit of the Spirit. So we're going to go in the importance. So the importance is to be Christ-like. Like, for example, I feel like one thing I can say about like the crucifixion per se, I think they undersold it. You know, I feel like they undersold it. I felt like they didn't really, I can only imagine like the things they did that day, because I feel like you don't understand is that when they talk about the crucifixion and like they do the children's version of it, they do the children's version of it, the kid's story, where they're just like, oh, well, you know, and then he rose on the third day. I was just like, I know, but before he rose on the third day, before, like, literally, like, I need you guys to understand that with the crucifixion, like when they ended up when they finished crucifying him, that was the most mercy they did. They tortured him for days. I wasn't there, but like I'm just imagining, like I have the gift of sight. Like, I can imagine like a whole story just from you speaking on it. Like I can imagine they tortured him for days. Like I feel like when they crucified him, like it was almost like a mercy. You're like, it's over now, you know? So just have that in your mind. Like it's so easy to, I wouldn't say obey his laws, but like it's so easy to obey, because you just sit there and you think about like, dang, like I can't even deal with little mama saying bad things about me that aren't true. But he went through, I promise you, I wasn't there, but I just have like this inkling in my stomach. It was days. Like they said, it's crucified and risen on the third day, or they crucified him for one day. I don't believe that. You have to understand, like I have a psych degree. I know how humans can be. I can only imagine before then, but like I imagine with humans, like we are at our worst. Like even the devil's like, dang, let me take note. Let me put, what was that again? Like at our worst. Like I've seen the best of humanity. I've seen the worst of humanity. I know for certain in my gut, it was for days. So if he can go through that, you know, like that's why I said the importance of, I'll get into the importance of that, you know, in a little bit, but I need to press on that. Now there are times where it's just like, you can't imagine someone would do that, but you have to understand like the importance of it is the fact that he went through all of that mocking, and he was like, any sin after this is forgiven as long as they repent and accept me. And I was like, dang, like all he wants us to do is like that. That's all he wants us to do is, you know, coming from like, I can't even lift the trash without complaining. Like, he only asks us to do one thing, you know. Now, of course, you know, human nature, like we battle against flesh all the time. Like, but it's just, I want you to know, like, even if you're not a believer, like just type in full detail, like type in what are the full details of Jesus Christ's crucifixion. Like, how do you not tear up? Like to do all that. And my struggle that I had with long suffering is just that I would almost rationalize, well, I'm not the son of man, you know, like I'm not the son of God. So I don't got to really perfect it, but you're going, like, you don't want this to stop the relationship. Like there were so many things that I gave up because I was like, I don't want the relationship to stop. Someone that can love that hard. That's why they said if you, Galatians 5 verse 22, with them saying the fruit of the Spirit is joy, love, and long suffering, because to have long suffering, you have to have a love for the other person. I know it's hard because our flesh wants vengeance, all right? And our flesh wants vengeance now. Like, you don't understand. Like, I have to tell that story one day, but I had an issue with, like, in a past, like with a boss, like a previous boss. And like, when I tell you I hated this lady, like, listen, I hated her with my esophagus. I hated her with my spleen. Like, I hated her with in my organs. I hated her, you know? And once I was able to truly come and like rededicate myself to Christ, like it was so easy to let that go. Cause I was like, you're worried about somebody. Of course, you know, she was spreading rumors. Okay. She was messy, but you're worried about that. And they tortured him for days. Okay. And it's just, I want to say it's easy because, like I said, like we still battle, but like I can definitely say it was much easier to get from that perspective. So I'm going to go into a Bible verse. First Corinthians 13 verse 4. Love suffereth long and is kind. Love envieth not. Love wanteth not itself. It is not purified up. Basically, like long suffering is a form of love, right? So you love this person despite their flesh. Like, you know how some people are like, they just have a natural, like, I can say, I wouldn't toot my own horn, but like I can say, like, I don't know if that's how it's made, but I can say that I don't have the spirit to be mean. Like, I'm more of like, I'll be defensive. Like, if somebody comes to me, then I'll be like, okay, let me get this person right. But the spirit to be mean is just not, I don't got it. Like, I don't have it. There's something about just how I was made. Like, even like there's been times where I have got my own vengeance, but it didn't feel good. That's just not how I'm made. Like, it's nothing for me to empower somebody. Like, it's a form of love. Like, that's why it was easy to get past that pitfall of long suffering, because to realize that it is a form of love. It's a form of love in this fact that you are waiting for this person to change, that you'll love them in the meantime. You'll love them still, love them still. So I feel like with long suffering, I don't want you to think of it like you're a pushover. Because like I said, Jesus had boundaries. He was flipping tables. And then when Saul, before he was Paul, when he was a YN, remember I told you about that? When Saul was a YN. And basically, like, even God was like, all right, enough. Because he was riding around and getting it. Okay, he was riding around and getting it, walking around and getting it. But so I was just like, even God was like, all right, enough. You're mine now. We're going to change this whole thing. Even God had boundaries. Okay, so it's just, I don't want you to feel like you're a pushover, but there are certain things that do not require a response. Like, I'm learning to Ecclesiastes 3 verse 2. Basically, there's a time to be quiet as well. And I've been meditating on that. I've been meditating on that. But it's just, there's something so crazy about how easy it is. Like, once I started, like, the easiest thing that I did that helped me out with my long suffering, if you're going through issue with long suffering, basically you don't let people talk to you any type of way. I see it as, we sit there and we torture God and Jesus every day, and they're still here. Like, when I was deep into sin, like, I promise you, like, I was doing like almost like a scavenger hunt. What commandment can I break today? I promise, I was getting blessings after blessings. I was like, dang, I'm breaking all his commandments and he's still blessing me. Dang. Like retrospect, it is embarrassing, especially the more core conviction you get from the Holy Spirit. Like, it is embarrassing to look back there. Ugh. But I can say, like, there just needs to be that mindset that, like, God is long suffering with you. You keep talking trash about him, or you let people talk trash about him in front of your face, and you don't say anything, and he still loves you. Like, that's insane. I know people who cut off their parents for less. I know people who cut off their kids for less. Their kid is a different orientation. They're like, I'm not your parent anymore. Yet love you still. Okay, love you still. So it was definitely something to think about. It helped me a lot. I feel like, I don't know, it's just an eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth. It doesn't help. It doesn't feel as good as you did. Because I did have a time where I had someone who was overweight trying to, project and say, oh, you need to stop eating. And like, I remember saying back, I was like, I don't think you need to be talking to anybody about your weight. And I felt good saying it, but afterward I felt miserable. And I know people are like, oh, girl, clap back, queen. I was like, I didn't feel good. Like, it was just more like, so we're just going to keep going until we hurt each other fully. Got it. So you have to love them still, but definitely putting boundaries up. Definitely putting boundaries up for sure. I'll tell you about that in the conclusion a little bit, but definitely putting boundaries up for sure. But before you sit there and enact that revenge, whatever form of it, because people always think revenge looks like a clapback. Revenge could be no contact. Revenge could be holding out on information. Revenge is any type of version of revenge from that's not long suffering at all. So in conclusion, for long suffering, basically when you think about boundaries aren't what you think. So people always think boundaries like an immediate stop. Like that's how people think boundaries are. To me, I feel like boundaries are being quiet. Boundaries are like one thing I'm learning this year is to not speak, and that's hard. Like that's really hard for me to not do. That's really hard for me to not do. But the way I think of it like if I don't speak, God can't hear what they're doing to me. Okay, I mean, like if I speak, God can't hear what they're doing to me. He can't. Like it's really hard for him to say, oh, this person's doing this to my daughter, but like he can't really hear. Like he can't hear if I'm like in another thing. But he can't hear what's going on if you're talking over him. And then another thing too is just that like vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and I have been front row. Like I can say that he has shown me favor to show me front row of it. Like that's happened actually twice this year of vengeance that he took, and like I said, you can't out vengeance him. All right, like what he did. Yeah, you can't out vengeance him. Okay, so if anything, people were like, oh, you should be clapping that happens to this person. I was like, listen, like my version of vengeance is I want accountability. I want it to be where you can't keep getting away with this. I want someone to see what you're doing. I never needed this person to lose this, to lose that. I need you to know. I need for you to know what's taking place. I need for you to like, it's kind of like when someone keeps pushing you off the slide and the teacher's back is turned. I need the teacher to see him pushing me off the slide. I don't even need him to get expelled. I just need awareness, because I feel like 90% of a loose is the fact that no one's taking it serious. No one sees it. That's 90% is psychological. Okay. So, just with long suffering again. So that's why I said like, my thing is just wish them well and just realize that, you have to understand you emote what you are. I've never met a truly happy person being mean to anybody. I'll wait. I'll wait. I've never seen it. Like, I truly feel like you are a representative of what's going on in your life. I've never seen a truly happy person. Like they say, hurt people. I'm correct. It's correct. Insecure people are insecure to other people. Insecure people project on other people, people who are not confident project on people who are actually confident, so it's very easy to get triggered. That's another thing too, is that I learned my triggers. Like there are certain words that activate Mimi head, like you have activated my trap card. Like I can say I do have certain there's certain trigger words that I have, and I have made my peace with them. Okay, look, I have made my peace with them, but there's certain trigger words. Is just like what I like to do is I just meditate on Galatians 5:22, talking about the fruit of the spirit. And I just meditate. Like whenever I get triggered, I say the verse in my head and like full on print, old English letter print in my head. And then it's usually done. And another way I also help another tip for long suffering as well is that I don't speak anymore. So fun fact, I don't know if you knew this, but it takes two people to have a conversation. So I've noticed that when I just sit there, like for example, someone says something very incoherent. For example, someone has spoken about my hair before. Your hair is nappy. Usually the silence is loud enough for the conversation to end. It keeps working. Like I did that 2 times this year. It's really cool. It's just just knowing your triggers, and people are like, oh, I don't know my triggers. Like, oh, you know your triggers. I know my triggers. There's certain words that you can say that I'm gonna, Lord, you have to forgive me on this one. Okay, like it's just an immediate reaction. But just knowing your triggers and just truly trusting him. Like I feel like the overall thing with long suffering is trusting that everything will be okay. He will make things right. He does not need your help. Okay, so don't forget to subscribe, share. It's Claire here.